What is good? What is good, everybody? Welcome to the Talking Sports with Manny YouTube channel. I am going to do something that I've never done before, and that is also going TikTok live all at the same time. So we're doing two shows at once, and this is more of a focus on YouTube. TikTok is just getting the overflow, if that makes any sense. So appreciate you guys hopping on the stream, both on YouTube and both on TikTok. So we're going to go ahead and dive into our waiver wire shows. We're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk injuries. So before we get started with the show, earlier on today, Joe Flacco was traded from from the Cleveland Browns to the Cincinnati Bengals. So, and it's a cool trade for him because he's going from Cleveland to Cincinnati. So he probably gets to keep his house in Cincinnati. So, in Cleveland, and just drive back and forth or whatever he decides to do. He's rich. But that's a trade. And this helps guys like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and the rest of them. So it was a win-win type trade. For those of you guys that have ever been on my stream, feel free to ask your questions. I'm answering any fantasy football related question. If you have waiver wire questions, if you have trade advice questions, you guys can go ahead and ask away, and I can knock those questions out, both on YouTube and both on TikTok, streaming on Twitch and on Facebook as well. So feel free to come in with your questions. Won't be really able to bring anybody on the live, but I will be able to, tap into the comment section. So we talked about the Joe Burrow trade. We're talking about how this impacts Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But moving on along, let's go ahead and dive into these waiver wire pickups. A lot of teams that are on bye week this week. So it's imperative that you go ahead and, follow the trends, see who's hurt, see who's available, and kind of see how you can maximize on players being hurt. In two quarterback leagues, I highly suggest Joe Flacco because I feel like he's a guy that's going to be able to put up numbers. He might throw picks, but he's going to put up numbers. One thing about Joe Flacco is he's unafraid to throw the ball. So having weapons like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase bodes well for Joe Flacco. You can see him throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns, but you can also see him throw for 3 picks as well. So it's going to be exciting and fun to see what he brings to the table, how he improves that team. And you guys let me know if my sound is okay. Feel free to drop a follow. Feel free to tap the hearts. We're going to have fun on this show. And those that are watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and share as well. Appreciate the love, TikTok. Appreciate y'all. All right, so diving in, let me go ahead and pull up my notes. Where are my notes? We're doing waiver wire pickups. I'm going to talk about the Chargers backfield. There's a couple of guys on that Chargers backfield that everybody's excited about. All right, I got a question here. It says, how much will Flacco help Jamar and T? I think that Flacco is going to help Jamar and T. Higgins tremendously. You're going to see the offense look a whole lot different. You're going to see if Jamar Chase is open, throw the ball. And that's something that Jake Browning couldn't do. Jake Browning's processing was so slow and ridiculous that he couldn't even get the ball to a guy like Jamar Chase. But here you have Flacco, a guy who's willing and able to throw. So I believe it's going to increase Jamar Chase value tremendously. Let me see. Got a question or a comment here. Says, I traded Jacobs for A.J. Brown and Quentin Johnston. Who won? Jacobs for A.J. Brown and Quentin Johnston. If you needed receivers, you won. The A.J. Brown and Quentin Johnston side, I think it's a fair trade. If you need receivers, A.J. Brown and Quentin Johnston both have upside, right? But Josh Jacobs is the better of the two players. He says, I still have Montgomery and JT and Kamara. So, yeah, that's a great trade for you. I think that once A.J. Brown kind of settles in and that offense starts to go through A.J. Brown, you're going to be happy to have A.J. Brown. But we don't know when that A.J. Brown breakout game is coming. But A.J. Brown is still A.J. Brown. And Quentin Johnston has been consistent, had a bad week versus the Commanders. But I believe that he's going to continue to produce. Gage says, I lost Neighbors and drafted JT. I'm guessing, Neighbors. So you lost Neighbors and you drafted BTJ, so needed receivers. Okay, I respect it. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I just saw says Beal for Worthy for fantasy. I'd rather have Beal over Worthy. Beal has shown that he's capable, 150 yards total and 2 rushing touchdowns this past week. So give me Beal. I don't know what's going on with the Kansas City's offense. And then, Rashee Rice is coming back very soon. Let me see. Chase Brown or Pearsall for Derrick Henry. Who won? Give me Chase Brown and Pearsall, believe it or not. I don't know what we're getting out of Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry does not look good right now. He's struggling. And then on top of that, Lamar Jackson is gone. So, yeah, give me Derrick Henry. TikTok, you guys are bringing up great points, great questions. Come on, YouTube. I just followed you. Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. And I'm also going live on YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel, Talking Sports with Manny. So, yeah, definitely appreciate the love, TikTok. Appreciate the gifts. Appreciate the hearts. It says trade worthy for Pollard. Yes, I would. I think that Pollard is going to be a guy that's going to be effective moving forward. It says, should I try trading Garrett Wilson, Rome Odunze, and Rashad White for Bijan and Cortland? That's a lot. I'm keeping Garrett. I'm keeping Rome. And Rashad White for now, for the foreseeable future, is going to be the number one back for the – yeah, so no. Garrett Wilson and Rome is way too much to give up for Bijan Robinson. That's just my opinion. I got to trade Lamar Jackson. So I got to trade Lamar Jackson and Drake London for Puka. Ooh. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Drake London is going to start the ball, hopefully, eventually soon. Puka's going to have a world-class season this year. And then Lamar is out. So if you have the depth and you want to make this trade, if it's a one-quarterback league, obviously, you want to yeah, it's fair in a one-quarterback league. I have to think outside the mindset that everybody plays Dynasty and everybody plays Superflex. So, yeah, that's a fair trade. That's a fair trade, especially in one-quarterback leagues. It says, who's a running back that I can trade for with K9? I can't stand how the Hawks use the RBs. Yeah, it's funny business. Maybe you add a little bit to K9 to go ahead and improve your running back room. But yeah, there's tons of running backs you can go after. Even in a two-back system with the Lions having what's his name? Montgomery. Montgomery could be a guy that you go after. At least they use both backs in Detroit. So it's just tough with running backs. It says, should I go grab Darren Waller for Kelsey? Yes. Give me Waller over Kelsey every day of the week. So I have Brock Bowers starting now. And, yeah, Brock Bowers is hurt. So you don't know how that's going to go. It says, do you think that Flacco to the Bengals makes Jamar stock and T go up? Absolutely. Go buy T. Higgins now. Go buy Jamar Chase now. If you can, try to buy low. People are possibly still out, but I think that Flacco tremendously helps those Bengals wide receivers. It says, how do you feel about Krosky, BTJ, and Hampton for Emeka? Oof, that's a lot. That's a lot. I do feel like Hampton will be back in 4 weeks. Even if Hampton is not back, you can go ahead on the waiver wire and grab one of those Chargers running backs. Being a running team, I think one of those guys, Vidal is going to be my guy once I get into my waiver wire portion of this. I'll tell you guys the guys that I like this week. So, yeah, I think that's quite a bit for Emeka. I love Emeka. Y'all know I love Emeka. I talk them up all the time. But that's way too much to pay to get Emeka. Unless you're just super deep and you're 5-0 and you feel like you're going to win a championship, then you go ahead and upgrade. It says start 2. Chase Brown, DK, Pittman. Give me DK and Pittman. Chase Brown is nothing until he's something. Now, with Joe Flacco, maybe it opens up a lane for him to run. But even when Joe Burrow was there, Chase Brown was able to give you nothing. So should I do this trade, 10-man league? I get Zay, Rashee Dobbins for Chuba and Justin Jefferson. Yes. So wait, you get Zay, Rashee, and Dobbins. I think it's a fair trade. It's an even trade. Nobody necessarily wins that trade. It's an even trade. Appreciate the hearts, y'all. Keep the hearts coming. Keep the hearts coming. All right. I'm gonna just pick this up since TikTok is popping more than the YouTube, so I can just go off of TikTok. Um, it says, should I drop Knicks? Reading this behind my black shirt is kind of hard to read. It says, should I drop Knicks for Mac Jones? I already have made. Ooh, that's tough. I like Knicks this week. I believe Knicks plays a super easy matchup, but Knicks, Mac Jones, they're about the same in terms of value, especially in redraft leagues. But I do feel like Bo Nix has that Russian element that can definitely. I mean, if you're going to drop a quarterback for a quarterback, that just doesn't make sense. Just keep Knicks if you're going to do a quarterback for quarterback. Now, dropping a quarterback to get another position like running back or receiver, then that's different. Mac Jones is not too much better than Bo Nix, in my opinion. Oops. Let's see. It says, is it even an even trade? I forgot which trade that was. So many comments coming in. All right, so we got our first comment on YouTube. So let me take care of YouTube, then I'll be back TikTok, but y'all keep the questions going. Galaxy Pickers writes, just traded Ladd, Michael Carter, Hawkinson, and for London, Hunter Henry, and Kendre. My roster is now Knicks, JT, K9, JCM, Kendre, Tootin, Lamb, Odunze, London, Worthy, Addison. So yeah, solid team. Trading Ladd was great. Ladd is just going to have an up and down season. Ladd let me down this week. I thought Ladd was going to go crazy versus the Commanders. He didn't. So it's kind of showing you who Ladd is. And for you to get London back, just Ladd for London back is just crazy. And then getting Hawkins, trading away Hawkinson, and then getting Hunter Henry back was just great. I believe Hunter Henry is going to be one of the top 5 tight ends when it's all said and done, based off of production, health, and targets. It seems like they love Hunter Henry on that Patriots team. We know that Stephon Diggs went crazy, but at the same time, I feel like that trade that you made, trading Ladd, was amazing. Donovan writes, says, I traded Emeka and Daniel Jones for Kyren, Tet, Jaden Daniels. Did I win? Let me see. Yes, getting Jaden, anytime you're getting Jaden Daniels, it's a win. So Kyren and Tet for Emeka is solid, but I also feel like Emeka is gonna like blow up even more. But I think it's a fair deal. But I also think that you won the deal getting Kyren and Tet in addition to Jaden Daniels, who should be in the season possibly as a top 3, top 4 quarterback this year. All right, I'm gonna pause on YouTube for a minute. Y'all keep the questions coming YouTube. Let me go ahead and get over to TikTok for a second. It says Jamar Chase for Marvin Harrison and Derrick Henry. I don't like that one, especially now that you have a Jamar Chase. I do not like that trade at all. I would keep Jamar Chase. Let's see what Jamar Chase looks like with Joe Burrow. All right. Let me go ahead. Okay, I see one that says Zay Flowers and Kenneth Walker for Derrick Henry. That one is fair, but can we really trust Derrick Henry? Have we seen Derrick Henry? There's 8 in the box, and then you have Cooper Rush as your QB. All right. Nick writes, is it worth holding on to Derrick Henry in PPR, or should I trade him? We're just talking Derrick Henry on TikTok. We're talking Derrick Henry on YouTube. I would say trade Derrick Henry, get whatever you can for Derrick Henry. And it could be selling low, but right now, as it stands, if you look at Derrick Henry, he has not looked good all season. Galaxy Pickers writes, which QB would you pick off the wire between T-Law, Tua, Rattler, and Penix? Give me T-Law. T-Law is the option right there. After this great game that T-Law had versus a Kansas City team, give me T-Law all day long. If you guys are new to the YouTube, if you guys are new to the TikTok, please follow, please share. Haskins or Vidal? Give me Vidal. I talked about this yesterday on yesterday's show on TikTok, and I love Vidal. If you watch the game, Vidal came in and gave them a change of pace. He looked like the fresher, younger back. To me, Haskins is more of a plotter, more of a guy that just gets the tough yards. But if you want the guy that has the upside, a guy that can catch the ball, get out the backfield a little bit quicker, then it's Vidal. I could be totally wrong, but I've been going Vidal with my number 1 waiver wire pick over a guy like Haskins. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Y'all call me out if I'm not next week. It says Rice for Hampton. I'm 5-0, and you need running backs. I would do it. I would do it. I believe Hampton comes back, and he's going to be a guy that's going to be there for the stretch run, a guy that's going to help you to win in the playoffs. So, yeah, definitely trade Rice for Hampton. I think that's a fair deal. It says trade Pollard and Jalen Warren for A.J. Brown. I will hold on to both. Both guys have been productive this season. But if you desperately need a wide receiver, then you go A.J. Brown. But I also believe that there's guys that you can find on your waiver wire that could give you the same kind of production that A.J. Brown is giving you right now. So keep Pollard, keep Warren. Do not fall into that whole thing of going to get A.J. Brown and overpaying for A.J. Brown. Right now, A.J. Brown's value is down. It says Rice for Hampton. Yes. All right, let's keep these questions coming. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the love. Appreciate everything y'all are giving me out there right now. It says trade Saquon for Genty and Little Bill. Yes. If somebody in their right mind is giving you Genty and Bill for Saquon, you do it. You take it and you run away. You never look back. It says, is K9 for Derrick Henry good? That's fair. That's even. Honestly, we know who Derrick Henry is. The only problem with Derrick Henry right now is that he's just in a bad offense. He's in a bad way. That team is just terrible. And without Lamar Jackson, I'm out on Derrick Henry personally. But with Lamar, if Lamar's able to come back next week or the week after, then I'll be more in on a guy like Derrick Henry. But for now, I'm out. All right, let's see what other questions. It says Golden or Addison. Give me Addison. Before, had you asked me this question 3 weeks ago, I would have said, give me Golden over Addison. But for now, it's Addison, man. He's just so consistent. He brings so much to the table. It says trade Adams for Diggs, Smith, and Kraft. I have no tight ends. Trade Adams for Diggs, Smith, and Kraft. That's great. If you can pull that off, you're the GOAT. Because getting like Diggs right now, give me Diggs over Adams. So to add Smith and Kraft to it, yeah, definitely. You make that trade. It says Jackson is giving up on the team. You can say that he has, but he's looking at the team like the team is not helping him. Like even when he was healthy, even when he was producing, the defense was just so bad. He has to throw so much and do so much, carry the team on his back that his back is hurting right now. He's like spinal, like Mike Tyson. But it says trade Chase for Puka. Yes, give me Puka over Chase any day, any format. And I don't care how much better Chase looks with Flacco. Right now, Puka is on his way to 2,000 yards for a season, and if he does it, you would be glad that you have Puka on your team. If Puka stays healthy and Matthew Stafford stays healthy, the sky's the limit. Puka right now is going to end this season as the number one wide receiver in fantasy. It says start A.J. Barner or Darren Waller. That's a good one. I like A.J. Barner's matchup this week, but I also believe that Darren Waller is going to be a little bit more consistent. So give me Darren Waller over A.J. Barner, but it's pretty even. It says trade for Genty. I have Kamara, and I could trade. Genty's going to be expensive right now, but try your best to trade a couple of bench players that you have. Genty's going to be expensive just because of who he is, his pedigree, where he was drafted in the NFL draft, and where he went in your redraft leagues, which is most likely end of the first, early second. It says, I just traded Fergie and Golden for Kraft and Pittman. Did I win? I like Ferguson a lot. Golden is a wash. Getting Kraft and Pittman is definitely greater than Ferguson and Golden. Easily. It says trade Bucky, Rico Dowdle, and Myers for CD and Chase Brown. I would. I like that trade. Especially if you're deep at running back. It says Waller or Warren. Give me Warren. Warren is the most consistent tight end in the game. You know what you're getting out of Warren. If he's not getting touchdowns, he's going to get you targets. He's going to get you receptions. He's going to get you yards. Warren is safe. Waller definitely has an upside when he's healthy. I honestly thought Waller was on his way to like a 150-yard game and 2-3 touchdowns, but he kind of slowed down after that first half. Chris says, I traded Saquon, Marv, and Fannin for Brees, Emeka, and Kraft. Once I see Emeka in a deal, I'm like, you won. Whoever is getting Emeka, that's a win. Right now, he's like the number 3 wide receiver in fantasy football. So that's great. Even with Godwin coming back, they're noticing that, hey, this is Emeka Egbuka's team easily. If you guys are new to the channel or new to the page, please follow, please share, please like it up, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys. The more questions we get, the more engagement we get, the more traction we get, the longer I stream. If it slows down, I'm out. All right. It says drop Juwan Johnson for Mason Taylor. Yes, I did that last week right before the games, and it panned out for me. So that was a great pickup. Mason Taylor is going to continue to rise this week and in weeks to come. But it's like a week-to-week thing. With the NFL, it's week to week. Don't be too high. Don't be too low. When players are at their peak is when you sell. If you want to maximize, it's like stocks. If you want to maximize after a blow-up game, put a player on the block. Put the player on the trading block and see how much you can get for that player. It works every single time. In my Dynasty League, I put up Javonte Williams, and I started getting offers. A guy was willing to give me Terry McLaurin in a second. I'm definitely taking that deal in a Dynasty League. Even though Terry hasn't balled, we know who Terry is, especially when he's healthy and he's getting passes from Jaden Daniels. Nick says, trade Higgins for Monty and Evans. Nah, I'm keeping Higgins and Monty over Evans for me. Emeka's just too good over there, and Monty is always solid. And I think that T. Higgins' uptick is gonna climb it's pretty soon. All right, Galaxy Pickers. Okay, I read that one. Nicholas writes, would you trade K9 for Chase Brown since Joe Flacco is going to the Bengals? No. I would keep K9. I think you can get Chase Brown cheaper. Like, you can't give up K9 to get Chase Brown, not knowing what kind of Chase Brown you're going to get. And you could be getting the exact same player. So how K9 is used is frustrating, but at the same time, Chase Brown has been frustrating all year. So, whatever you want to do with that information, it's kind of tricky. So start 3. Zay, J-Mo, Dobbs, Ingram, and BTJ. Give me, that's rough. Give me Dobbs and give me BTJ, I guess. That's tough. All right. If you guys are new to the channel, new to the page, please follow, please like, please share, both on TikTok and YouTube. And if some of you guys on TikTok can just go over to my YouTube page and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me, man. That's love. Appreciate the follow. It says, what defense this week? Man, there's tons of defenses, man. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and tap into my notes. I've given you guys nothing so far on Waiver Wire, and that's cool because you guys continue to ask great questions and we continue to engage and interact. So eventually I'll tap into my notes and kind of give you guys people to grab. Usually for defenses, I play whoever the Titans are playing. Cam Ward has been so bad, but he kind of turned it up a notch this past week. So we'll see if he can keep that going. But even then, the Titans offense is still bad. It says pick up Michael Carter or Haskins. If I have to choose between Michael Carter and Haskins, give me Michael Carter. It's not that I hate Haskins. I just don't know. It says Gibbs for JSN. That's a fair trade. I love Gibbs. I love JSN. It just depends on preference. Do you need a receiver? Do you need running back? It says Jordan Mason, and Ladd for Justin Jefferson. Ooh. Yes, give me Justin Jefferson all day. It says Adams for Diggs. Yes, give me Diggs. ETN for Scatterbo this week. ETN for sure. Tyrone Tracy's coming back. It says Njoku or Jets tight end off waivers. Give me Mason Taylor, Jets tight end off waivers. Nick Westbrook-Akina, Jerome Ford at flex. Oof, man, for you to be starting those two guys, it's rough. Man, just flip a coin. I can't pick neither one. Both are pretty bad options. Lamar for Puka, yes. Already have Stafford and Mayfield. Definitely pull the trigger. It says trade away Jacobs for Emeka Booker. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Emeka is going to be one of those guys that is going to star and do a lot of great things. All right, we got more questions on YouTube. All right. Bronson says trade Derrick Henry for Dart. It says Derrick Henry and Dart for Lamar and Jenkins or Swift. Yes, give me the side that has Lamar and Jenkins all day long. All day long. It's not even close. I don't care what format it is. Give me Lamar and Jenkins all day long. Jenkins is one of those guys that I love. I was able to steal Jenkins in a lot of leagues, and where I got him was great. It says, is Brock Bowers going to start? He might not start this week. So the play is to go ahead and grab one of these tight ends off waivers. There's tons of tight ends on waivers. Grab one of those guys, but also look out for Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer could be a pretty sneaky play this week, especially if Brock Bowers does not play. Man, y'all are asking great questions, man. I'm enjoying the stream. I truly am. It says, what do you think the better trade? It says Bowers, Scatterbo for Jenkins, BTJ, or Bowers, Marvin Harrison for Jenkins, Ted. There's a lot going on there. I'm always going to pull Bowers' side. I do love Jenkins. So there's so many ways you can go with this, honestly. The worst side is probably maybe Bowers and Scat. But I love the Jenkins and Tet side, and then I love the Bowers and Marvin Harrison side. I trust Marvin Harrison more than I trust BTJ. And that's a fact. Like, who is BTJ? What do we expect out of BTJ? Can you trust Trevor Lawrence as your quarterback? So, with that being said, that's tough. That's tough. It says drop Charbonnet for Waller. Yes, especially if you need a tight end. Waller's going to be the top tight end to snag in waivers this week. If you guys didn't touch him, grab him last week, then he's definitely a guy that's going to go in these waivers and go rather early. Chuba Hubbard or Jenkins. It says, what do you think I should trade Jamar for King Henry and Pickens? That's fair, but I would also wait to see what you get out of Chase this week. This is a week that you don't trade Chase. If you're going to trade, you can trade for Chase. Do not trade Chase unless you're getting some Godfather type deal. You got to see what Chase does in his first game with Joe Flacco. You can trade Chase right now and be upset when he has a 3-touchdown game. Because what do you think about Coker? I love Coker. I think that Coker is going to make things better for guys like Tet. Coker's not coming in to be the best receiver on the Panthers or the gobble up top. They have tons of guys, including tight ends, including Leggett. It's going to be who's open type thing, right? But I still feel like Tet is going to be the main guy on the Panthers, but I think Coker has a chance to carve out a role. So he's the guy that you can grab his stash. I just saw something about Pacheco. At what point do you drop Pacheco for Stevenson? ASAP. Pacheco should not be rostered. Pacheco should not be on your team. If Pacheco is on your team, I'm calling the cops. That's a crime. He should not be on your team. He's not resembling an NFL player right now. So he shouldn't be rostered, especially in redraft leagues. Would you rather have Olave or Sutton? Give me Sutton. Sutton gets touchdowns. Sutton is the number one receiver over there, and he's bigger. So, and he has a better quarterback. Genty for Josh Jacobs, yes. I think it's a fair trade. Give me Josh Jacobs. He's more consistent and on a better offense. Kincaid, Waller, or Kraft this week? Give me Waller. Says, would you take this trade? Adams and Rice for a chain. It's okay. If you have plenty of running backs, then definitely go for it. It says, would you trade away Marks for Diggs? Yes. That one's easy. Trade Marv for DK? I would say yes. DK is about to blow up the rest of the season. How do you feel about Ladd? Ladd, yeah, sell Ladd. Whatever you can get for Ladd. Ladd is just so disappointing right now that if you have Ladd, he's going to be costing you losses. You're going to continue to lose. Haven't lagged. Appreciate the hearts. Appreciate the likes, the follows. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate it, man. The follows are coming in. I'm enjoying the follows. I'm loving it. AJ Brown and Ridley for Nico. That's fair. Honestly, that's fair. Ridley did just have his best game. So if you want to hang on to Ridley and see what he does this week, but I think that's a fair deal. CJ Stroud has looked good the last 2 weeks. So as that continues, the better it goes for Nico. It says Bill and Higgins for Nico. No. It's going to be hard for me to trade Bill. I feel like Bill is going to be a top 10 running back this year when it's all said and done. And last week he produced possibly top 5 numbers. So if you're going to trade Bill, treat him as a top 5 guy. Don't treat him as a toss-in. I get it's just one game, but at the same time, this is the first time we're seeing Bill get the full compliments of work and then having a healthy Jaden Daniels. That read option between Bill and Jaden Daniels is going to be lethal the rest of the way. So you want to milk that as long as you can. It says Sutton for Junkins. That's fair. Give me Junkins if I need a running back and if I need a receiver, and then Cortland Sutton. Absolutely. Appreciate the questions, y'all. It says, was offered Waddle and McBride for Genty? Yes, I would do that. Give me Waddle and McBride over Genty. McBride is the best tight end in the game. He's consistent. He gets you consistent numbers. He's going to end up as a number 1 tight end in football. Having that solidifies your team, right? With running backs, with all these running backs that are going down with injury, you can easily find another running back that could be as productive or if not more productive than Genty. We have to remember that running backs go down easily. So on your roster, make sure you have at least 3 to 4 running backs. Don't be in a rush to trade multiple running backs away to get wide receivers. Wide receivers are something that you can find easily. But to find a good running back, you're going to have to overpay each and every time. Says Bill for Chase Brown, no. K9 for Diggs, yes. Was offered Waddle. Okay, I read that one. We got so many questions coming in. It says drop Hollywood for Waller, yes. Hollywood should not be rostered right now. So, yes, if it's a drop Hollywood question, it's always going to be drop Hollywood. All right, we got another comment from my guy Glenn on YouTube. It says, just got offered Saquon for Javonte Williams and Golden. Do I take Saquon? That's a tough one. I don't think that Golden is so inconsistent, right? And I understand why the guy is trading Saquon to get Golden. Now, if you're asking me who's going to be more consistent running back between Saquon and Javonte down the stretch, I've talked about this on numerous shows. Saquon is going to be the guy to have in November and to have in December. Appreciate the person that just joined the fan club. I appreciate you. But yeah, that's tough. I would say take Saquon. Take Saquon. I know Javonte's hot right now, but I would definitely take Saquon just because we know who Saquon is. We don't know how long Javonte can keep this going. It says, I just messed up. I traded Nico and Swift for Chase, Brown, and Tet. Ooh, that's rough. But it's not too bad, but it's rough. Tet will really have to start scoring touchdowns for you to start to benefit from that trade. It says, is CD and JMO for Nico and Odunze good? Yes. That's a good trade. It took me a minute to kind of realize what's going on. Now, Odunze is going against the Commanders this week, and he should definitely ball this week. Luke, appreciate you hopping on the stream. Please like, please subscribe if you haven't already. Luke on YouTube writes, should I trade Emeka and Dobbins for Jonathan Taylor? I would say no. Emeka and Dobbins together outweigh what Jonathan Taylor can give you. Dobbins is not a toss-in right now. Should I accept Adams and Rice for a chain? Still have Gibbs and Junkins. Adams and Rice. I think that's fair. That's solid. 2-quarterback league. A guy needs a quarterback and running back. His second running back is Rodgers. Rattler and Henderson and Marks for Bucky, a fair trade. Yes. If I'm getting Bucky, give me Bucky over Rattler, Henderson, and Marks. Says my wide receiver target are Garrett Wilson and JSN. Those are two of my favorite wide receivers. Everybody who knows me knows I love JSN. I love Garrett Wilson. We got Sculptor from Twitch. Appreciate you hopping on the stream. All right, back to TikTok. It says, I just did Mason, Nico, Devonta for Jalen Warren and Tet, and I guess that's Rashid Rice or Shaheed. Ooh. I like the Mason, Nico, and Devonta side. That's the side I'd rather have. It says, what would you do with Hampton? I'm 3-2. Starting Saquon and Haskins. Trade Hampton right now for all you can get. If you can't get any good offers, then you keep them. Also, you want to go ahead and get Vidal as well, in addition to Haskins, just in case Haskins is not the guy. That way you're covered on every facet of this whole thing. Because it can go south really fast, especially if Haskins isn't good. But I would try to throw, Hampton out there and kind of see what you can get. Appreciate all the love, everybody. Appreciate the hearts. Appreciate the gifts. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate everything. So I'm seeing that TikTok loves when I stream at this time opposed to streaming at night. So I might have to switch up my stream from streaming at night to streaming in the daytime with TikTok. But it's not going to take away from what I do with YouTube as well. I'm going to figure out a way that I can stream and still get the comments on everything all at once. So I'm working on that. All right. Neff writes on YouTube, do you think Sam Darnold or Trevor Lawrence are good replacements for Patrick Mahomes? Trade away Patrick Mahomes for JSN. Yes, I will trade Mahomes for JSN ASAP, but also between Sam Darnold and Trevor Lawrence, you should be covered at QB. I love that trade for you. Mahomes has been great this year, but when you have so many options at quarterbacks and you can get an elite wide receiver, I'm making that trade all day long. Because if you're drafting in an NFL draft, if we have to do the whole NFL draft again, redraft league, fantasy draft, and you see Mahomes and you see JSN, you're going to take JSN every time just because you see so many other options for quarterbacks. If it's a 12-team league, there's 12 other backup quarterbacks. If it's a 10-man league, even easier. Quarterbacks are the last thing to worry about. Zachary writes, DK Jordan Mason for Bijan. DK Jordan Mason for Bijan. I like the Bijan side. All right, says, what do you do with, okay, we read that one. Man, we got so many comments popping on TikTok right now. It's wild. It says, drop Laporta for Waller. I wouldn't do all of that. If I can add Waller and still keep Laporta, I would do that. I think that Laporta is going to be one of the better, most consistent tight ends as we continue to move on. But yeah, it's hard for me to drop Laporta for Darren Waller, personally. It says, trade Jamar, receive Debo in Rome. Man, that's tough. I think that's as fair of a Jamar Chase deal that I've seen so far. Rome is beasting, and then Debo is giving you top 10 numbers as well. So I would say make that trade, but also you can also wait and see if Jamar blows up. You might be able to get Rome and a better receiver than Debo. You have to remember, Terry McLaurin is coming back soon and very soon. Alvin Kamara and BTJ for Rome and Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, give me the Rome side. Rome side for sure. All right, let me see. Thank you for the answer. Also, would you drop Juwan Johnson if you already have Waller and Njoku? Yes, Juwan Johnson is now droppable, especially if you have Waller. Says 5-0. Do I even make the trade? Nah. If you're 5-0 and everything is working for you, you kind of keep it as is. Only if you're desperate for a running back that I would trade for Bijan. But that is a fair deal. That is a cheap deal for Bijan, DK, and Jordan Mason. That's pretty cheap to grab a Bijan Robinson, in my opinion. Man, appreciate the follows. Appreciate the love. Appreciate everything, TikTok. Y'all are amazing. My follows have gone from about 100 to 150, and that's because of y'all. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the love. Keep following. Keep smashing the heart button. Keep showing love. We got another hour to stream because it seems like you guys are really engaged. It says trade Amon-Ra for ETN, QJ, and McMillan. That's not bad, but I feel like you should be getting one piece that's better. ETN and QJ are solid. See if you can get a better production wide receiver over McMillan. McMillan is nice off of upside, but he's done nothing. And then Amon-Ra is just a solid, either 10 catch guy, 100 reception type guy, sometimes multi-touchdown type guy. So just ETN and Quentin Johnston for Pittman, McLaurin, and Krosky Merritt. Yes, give me the Pittman, not just because I'm a Commanders fan, but I think that McLaurin is about to have a great second half of the season, as well as I think that Bill is going to continue to produce at a high clip. For those coming on YouTube, if you guys have never seen me before, please like, please subscribe, please share. For those of you guys on TikTok, appreciate the love. Man, so many questions coming in all at the same time. It says, JD, that one went away. So many questions. I'm sorry, y'all. Trying to get to as many as I can. It says, I traded A.J. Brown and Scatterbo for Marvin Harrison Jr. and Dobbins. Was this good? A.J. Brown and Scatterbo for Marvin Harrison Jr. Dobbins. That's fair. That's even. These are four guys, but getting Dobbins is definitely been consistent. It comes down to A.J. Brown and Marvin Harrison Jr. Both guys have been so inconsistent. So it's all about who do you trust more? If I have to pick one between A.J. Brown and Marvin Harrison Jr., give me A.J. Brown. I don't trust Kyler Murray. So it wasn't a bad trade. It just wasn't a great trade, if that makes sense. Hampton for ETN, yes. Because if you're trying to win right now, trade Hampton and you get an ETN who's been a top 15 back so far this year, and those numbers should go up as the season goes on. The Jags being good, the Jags sometimes playing with the lead means more runs for a guy like ETN. I traded Brown. Okay, we read that one already. It says Jaylen Warren and Worthy for Henry. Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. If I'm giving away Warren and giving away Worthy for Henry, that's not bad. Because for me personally, I don't trust Warren. Neither do I trust Worthy. And especially with Kenneth Gainwell going crazy before their bye week, it might make Jaylen Warren expendable. It might make Jaylen Warren one of those things where it's now a split backfield. Diaz writes, I traded DJ Moore and Jerry Jeudy for Brian Thomas Jr. Great trade. DJ Moore and Jerry Jeudy for Brian. Yes, all three guys have been terrible all season. The guy that has the highest upside right now is Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know who Dylan Gabriel is, honestly. He's either going to be really good or really bad. There's no in between. And then with Flacco going away, this could open up a door to where we see Shedeur Sanders on the field sooner than later. All right, says CeeDee Lamb. Says CeeDee Lamb and Devonta Smith for Bucky Irvin. Yes. Give me CD. Sorry. So Chase Brown and Devonta Smith for Bucky Irvin. Give me Bucky Irvin. It says trade Devonta Smith for Junkins. I only have 2 wide receivers on the roster. Oh, 2 running backs on the roster. Yeah, give me Junkins. It's always going to be Junkins every time. It says start Scatterbo or Pollard this week. Give me Pollard. Scatterbo is going against that tough Eagles defense. Bijan Robinson for JSN. I think that's fair. I think that Bijan Robinson, Gibbs, JSN, and Mecca, they're all on the same level. It's just all about preference. It says got it. Monty, Scat, Henry already. So I see why you would trade Bijan Robinson, but yeah. I mean, trading away Bijan Robinson makes your running back group a little weaker. We can't trust Henry, so just a preference type trade. It says trade Adams For Junkins, only have 2 running backs. Yes, go ahead, grab Junkins. Would you rather have Bo Nix, Baker as your quarterback? Give me Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is just so consistent this year, so good, playing with good wide receivers, playing on a very good offense. Got a question from Jay on YouTube. Would you trade Emeka and Kyron for JT and Keenan Allen? My other running backs are Gibbs, Swift, Charbonnet. Wide receiver are Garrett Wilson, BTJ, and Rice. Would I trade Emeka, Kyron for JT and Keenan Allen? I think that's fair. But Kyron is giving you the same thing that JT is giving you, and Emeka's just next level. So I would rather keep Emeka and Kyron than get JT and Keenan Allen. That's just me. It says Haskins or Vidal. Give me Vidal. Javonte Williams or Olave for CD. Yes, if I'm deep at running back. Haskins and Vidal. Give me Vidal. Jamar Chase for Marvin Harrison and Derrick Henry. No, give me Jamar Chase. Appreciate y'all hopping on the live. Keep smashing the hearts. Keep showing love. Keep following. Keep sharing. Rice for Jamar. Give me Jamar. If you're trading Rice with Jamar and the guy gives you Jamar, you're the greatest. Cortland Sutton for Junkins and Chase. Cortland Sutton for Junkins and Chase. I'm thinking it's Chase Brown. Yeah, give me the Junkins and Chase Brown side. Chase Brown or DJ Moore? Neither. But if I had to pick, give me Chase Brown. I know the Commanders' defense is bad and DJ Moore is playing, but at the same time, DJ Moore has done nothing. The more I want to trust DJ Moore, the more he continues to let me down. So that's just something that I can't continue to do. It says Emeka and Swift. That's a good question. Emeka and Swift for Hampton and Jalen Warren. Give me the Emeka and Swift side. Says I need running backs bad. But if you're trading Emeka and Swift for Hampton and Warren, those are 2 guys that are hurt. So how does that help you? Go for 2 healthier backs. That's what I would do. It says God offers Gibbs, Junkins, Tet for Bijan, Algier, and BTJ. Yes, give me the Gibbs and Junkins and Tet side. Easy. Easy. This is BTJ and Bill for Javonte Williams. I would keep Bill. I think that Bill can get to that Javonte Williams type of upside. That's just how I feel about it. All right. Should I sell high on Rico Dowdle or next week? Yeah, sell high now. Sell high now. I believe he plays a great game this week. He has a great matchup, a juicy matchup. But at the same time, you have Chuba Hubbard, who could be coming back. So if Chuba Hubbard comes back this week, it lessens that upside for Rico Dowdle. If you can trade him now or next week, get the most you can get for that guy. It says tight ends for the Saints. Who would you choose between Juwan and Taysom? Give me Juwan. It's going to take Taysom Hill a while to kind of become Taysom Hill once again. It says, is Waddle worth the long term? I need a wide receiver too. Yes, Waddle is going to be the real deal. Last week showed me all I needed to see out of Jalen Waddle. Granted, they played an easy matchup. They played a matchup that was not good in coverage, but I do like what I'm seeing out of Waddle. Waddle 1 and Waller, those 2 are going to be the guys that are going to command a lot of the targets. Appreciate the hearts. Appreciate the love. Keep smashing the heart button. Appreciate Queen B for hopping on the stream. I see you. I see you in here, Queen. It says the best TE on waivers. Man, it's so many guys on waivers. Every time I try to give you guys my waiver wire notes, like the questions just keep coming in. So I will get to the waiver wire notes before I end this stream, I promise. But there's lots of guys from Mason Taylor to Waller. There's so many tight ends, even Evan Ingram. You are not going to have to worry about tight ends this week. It's just so many tight ends in the waiver wire. It says, would you trade Junkins for Tech? No. I also have CMC, JCM. Okay, I get it. You're deep at running back, but I feel like you can get a better wide receiver than Ted. Ted is solid, but he's not good or great just yet. I think that Jenkins is great as of right now. Jenkins is a top 15 running back the rest of the season. Johnston for Scatterbo. I think that's fair. Johnston and Scatterbo are two guys that are up and coming that are going to continue to ascend. So I think that's fair. It's all about a preference at this point. Kyle Juszczyk or Jerome Ford. Man, that's terrible. I feel so sorry for your RB room right now. Got to be injuries for sure. Man, go Jerome Ford. At least he gets in the game and doesn't play fullback. It says keep or trade Mike Evans. Trade Mike Evans right now for whatever you can get. That whole wide receiver room is going to get crazy. It says, I saw one with JCM and Pittman. It says, would you do JCM for Pittman? If I'm getting JCM, then I would trade Pittman for JCM. Like, I think JCM is going to be, like I said, he's going to continue to rise. And right now he is a sell high candidate, but it's also a buy for me. If I have him, I'm not selling. I believe that JCM is going to take flight the rest of the season. He just looks explosive. He looks explosive. He's a guy that can take it to the house on every single play. Start Mason, Taylor, or Waller. Give me Waller. Addison or Rashee Rice. I like Addison. I think that Rashee Rice has more upside, but yeah, definitely. Both of those guys are two guys that I am in on. Either one of those guys are highly, highly productive players. So which side would you – so what side do I like? Saquon or Rico and Ladd? I would say Saquon. We can't trust Rico just yet. Big and Boys, appreciate you hopping on the stream. Big and Boys writes, thinking about trading Travion Henderson and Addison for Waddle. I think that's fair, especially in a redraft league. Waddle is going to take flight the rest of the year. Travion Henderson has just been so underwhelming. He's just been so annoying this season. And Jordan Addison is good, but Waddle is going to be gobbling up a lot of the targets. So I love that for you. You also have a chain on your roster. Brandon Miller writes, do I trade Bowers, Pickens, and Debo for Trey McBride and Keenan Allen? No. Pickens and Debo have a chance to be top 15 wide receivers this year, as well as Keenan Allen. So that's trading away two receivers that are going to be top 15 potentially for one top 15. And then I believe when Bowers is healthy, he gives you the same kind of production as Trey McBride. I'm sorry, I can't bring anybody on the TikTok live just because I'm also on YouTube as well. So it's kind of hard to bring people on. But if I do stream later tonight, more than welcome to come on and chop it up. Brandon Miller writes, do I trade Bowers, Pickens, and Debo for Trey McBride and Keenan Allen? I'm 5-0 there. I have JSN, Emeka, and Devontae Adams. I get it, but that's tough. Honestly. The guy, this must be a 10-man league, but either way it goes, getting McBride and Keenan Allen would be solid. I understand it. With Bowers being hurt, to upgrade from Bowers to Trey McBride, it makes more sense now. So, yeah, I would say make that trade to add Keenan Allen to the group that you already have. And then, of course, Terry could come back. And then, of course, CD could come back. So, definitely. Millie Mills, appreciate you hopping on the stream. That sounds like Fred. Is this Fred? Appreciate you for hopping on the stream. For those of you guys that are watching on YouTube, please subscribe. For those of you guys that are watching on TikTok, please continue to follow, continue to smash the heart button. We're going to go ahead and tap into some more questions on the TikTok side. So we have trade Tet for McConkey. I would keep Tet. We have trade Diggs for Waddle or Pickens. If I had to trade Diggs for Waddle or Pickens, give me Pickens. So it's dynasty, but I'm mainly concerned about this year. Okay, dynasty, yeah, definitely. Trade Diggs for Waddle, trade Diggs for Pickens. If it's dynasty, give me Diggs. Give me Waddle over Pickens just because of the value there. Let's see. Continue to smash the heart buttons. Continue to thank you guys for the gift. Thank you guys for the super fans. Says start Moore or Smith. Give me Smith over Moore. It says Devonta Smith or Merritt. Give me Merritt for sure. BTJ or Pollard or Coleman. Oh, BTJ and Pollard and Coleman for Sutton. Yes. Sutton is good. You have a lot of guys that are in that trade that are not even worth it right now. It says trade Kamara and Godwin for A.J. Brown and Worthy. I think that's a wash. I'd rather keep Kamara and Godwin, honestly. But I can understand it if you want to trade for Worthy. It says, I'm dropping Slayton this week for JCM. Absolutely. 7th on waivers? No, you're not getting JCM. You should have been on my show. You should have been listening to me all summer when I said grab JCM. JCM should not be available on waivers. And if he is, I don't know what kind of league you're playing in. There's no way you're going to be able to get JCM on waivers with the 7th waiver. He's going to go number 1 overall. But at least next year, you'll learn to lock in with me. Since I need some advice on the big one, bro. Fire away. For those of you guys that are on YouTube, please like, please subscribe if you haven't already, and smash that notification bell so you guys know when I'm going live. All right. Let's go ahead and read this question on YouTube, and we hop back on Twitter. Hop back on TikTok. So I'm giving away Baker Mayfield, Henderson, and McBride for Knicks, Sutton, Kittle, Woody, Hunter, Henry, Caleb, and Knicks would be my quarterbacks after the trade. Upgrades. To Sutton upgrades me off of Jacoby Myers, Kittle. Trading away Henderson. See, trading away McBride, I just cannot. I don't know. I get Kittle should produce, but is Kittle healthy? It's just hard for me to trade McBride. I would feel better about trading Kittle. It says, but Flacco went to Cincy, so that means Chase Brown value just went back up. Chase Brown's value went back up just a smidge. Flacco doesn't save Chase Brown. Flacco saves Jamar Chase, potentially, and T. Higgins. I don't know about Chase Brown. He seems to be running blind. He seems to be running and not being able to, get to the holes and everything. Rico Dowdle or Carter. Give me Rico Dowdle for sure. Appreciate the love, Twitter, please. I keep saying Twitter. I mean TikTok. I'm so sorry. Pittman, Dobbins, or Debo at flex. Give me Debo, especially with no Terry. Trade Waddle and Mason for Junkins. Yes. Give me Junkins. That's an upgrade. It says trade Kyron for Rice and Chuba. My RBs are Jacobs and Gibbs. That's not bad. Rice and Chuba is not bad for Kyron. It's really a solid trade. Would you like Kendrick Bourne or Trey Tucker? Kendrick Bourne. I don't think Trey Tucker's good. I do not think that Trey Tucker's good at all. Says anything is better than Browning. Anything. Absolutely. Browning is just such a bad player. Great human, such a bad player. It says Baker Mayfield or Hurts. Give me Baker Mayfield. It says, who wins this trade? Warren or K9 for James Cook? Give me James Cook. Trade Marvin Harrison, QJ, and K9 for Nico and Kamara. That's a wash, honestly. I'd rather have the Marvin Harrison side. Traded Keenan Allen and Devon Achane for St. Brown, Ken Walker. Yes, you had me at St. Brown. Rico Dowdle, Rashad White, Jalen Warren, K9, Keenan Allen, Pittman, start 2. Okay, I thought that was a trade. I'm like, that's crazy. Give me Pittman and give me Rico. It's hard for me not to start Rico again this week after that 200-yard performance. So give me Rico and give me Pittman. It says, you a Cardinals fan, bro? Absolutely not. I love the background. I was just tired of having the background of the Commanders on my Twitter. On my YouTube. So, yeah, just went with the Cardinals. You can see me better. All right. Let's keep on going. All right. We got Vidal or Haskins. Give me Vidal. Kendre Miller or Khalil. Give me Kendre Miller. It says, do I pick up Mason Taylor or AJ Barner? That's actually a fair one. Give me Barner, because Barner at least has the touchdown upside. We've seen him score touchdowns this season. We have not seen Mason Taylor score touchdowns yet, and we cannot trust Justin Fields as a passer. My guy here, Brogdon, says, I am 1-4. I have Gibbs, Jacobs, London, Sutton, Bowers, Ted, Kamara. What do I do? You trade your best player for multiple players. So try to trade Gibbs or Jacobs, and then definitely try to trade Bowers, because Bowers cannot help you now. Trade Bowers for all you can get. Really, start with Bowers. See what you can get for Bowers, and then work your way back to a guy like Gibbs. It's time to start flipping 1 for 2, 1 for 3. Says, hey, I wasn't judging, bro. You was or wasn't. I'm a Falcons fan, and I have no room to judge. It's all good. All good, Millie Mills. It says, start Dobbs over Godwin. Yes. Dobbs over Godwin for sure. Yes, keep smashing the heart button. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate everything y'all are giving me out there. It says, trade Brees, Terry, Devonta for Jamar and Sutton. I'll say that's fair. Yes, the Jamar side. I have to think. I have to get to my senses. Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. Sometimes you got to analyze these trades, and as these trades are coming in rapidly, it's just kind of hard to kind of figure out what's going on. It says Puka and Derrick Henry for Amon-Ra St. Brown and James Cook. Yes, give me Amon-Ra and James Cook over Henry and Puka. It says trade BTJ for Bucky. Yes. It says start 2. Marv, Waddle, Myers. Give me Waddle and Marv. James Cook, Jalen Warren for Bucky, Irvin, J-Mo, Rashee Rice, but I already have Bijan. I would say keep James Cook. Keep James Cook and Jalen Warren. I cannot trust J-Mo right now. Rashee Rice is still a wild card. I don't know what we're going to get out of Rashee Rice when it's all said and done, honestly. So note to self, I cannot wear a dark shirt next time streaming because it's hard to read the comments. I wish there was a way I can kind of change the comments to a different color, like yellow or something. It says trade away Pollard, Keenan Allen, and Caleb Williams for Jamar. I would do it. Why not? YOLO. Charbonnet or Krosky Merritt? It's always going to be Krosky Merritt. Always. All right, we got Millie Mills on YouTube with a question. Millie Mills writes, Chubb, Vidal, Haskins, JCM, all on waivers. Anyone else I should be looking at? Carter and DeMarcado are already gone. DeMarcado, first of all, is trash. Carter is decent. All right. Okay. TikTok, pause me for a second. Yeah, Chubb, Vidal, Haskins, Jason. So JCM should be number 1. Vidal should be number 2. Chubb should be 3, and Haskins should be 4 in that order. All right. JSN for Barkley. No, keep JSN. Just as you guys trust Barkley, I trust JSN just as much. Rate the Joe Flacco trade 10 out of 10. It helps every receiver and tight end. I don't know about running backs, but the Flacco trade is great. It's great for fantasy football. Said I traded Addison, Dobbins, and Adams for Nico, Alvin, Michael Carter, and Romeo Dobbs. I think that's fair. It's not the greatest, but it's fair. Let me see. Is Theo Johnson worth it? I would say Theo Johnson is going to be a dart throw. You grab a Theo Johnson, potentially, right? But he's not the best. He's not the best. He's only there to grab if you need him. So for those of you guys that are on YouTube, be sure to follow the TikTok page, Talking Sports with Manny. That's where I drop a lot of little videos, a lot of little, tips here and there. So since I was not able to really, I still got about 30 minutes left on the stream. Since I was not able to kind of give you guys my waiver wire pickups, I'm going to possibly do a separate video giving you guys my top waiver wire running back, wide receiver, tight end, the whole nine. So I'll just kind of just run through it. It says, start Love with Daniel Jones. Give me Love. Love has a juicy matchup this week. It says Jamar might be back. I think Jamar Chase is all the way back, honestly. How about them Broncos? Appreciate the Broncos for beating those Eagles. I appreciate y'all. Emil says, I actually have A.J. Barner over Theo. Yeah, absolutely. A.J. Barner over Theo easily. Yeah, Theo Johnson is just one of those guys that you grab if you need a tight end. Like I said, there's tons of tight ends to go after this week. So that bodes well for everybody that's looking for a tight end. All right. It says, will Flacco trade? Okay, we already read that one. Let's keep going. It says, I need a receiver. Any ideas? There's tons of receivers. It depends on how much you want to spend. If you want to spend high quality assets, you go ahead and grab the Emecas, you go ahead and grab the JSNs of the world, the Pukas. Those are the guys that you possibly end up spending more on. If you want the lower tier guys, go after guys like Pittman, Olave, Terry. Terry's a great buy low candidate because he's done nothing all season due to injury. But when he comes back and he's healthy, he's going to be a guy that produces at a high clip for the Commanders. Trade, I think it says trade Caleb Williams for Kyler Murray and DK. I would do it. What do you think is reasonable receivers I can trade for Kenneth Walker? It just depends. It depends on your league mates. It depends on how smart or not smart they are. But yeah, you can trade Kenneth Walker for a guy like maybe possibly Michael Pittman, like that second tier, third tier type wide receivers. Maybe an Addison. Those are kind of guys that you realistically could get for Kenneth Walker, which is top 24 guys or top 36 or top 30 type wide receivers. It says buy low on Tet. Absolutely. I believe that Tet eventually, when Tet starts to score touchdowns, he's going to look a whole lot better than he's looked right now. Right now, Tet is good for targets, right? But he's not produced in terms of scoring touchdowns. Let me go ahead and plug in my phone. The battery's getting low. All right. The phone is plugged in. Well, let's go ahead and see what YouTube is talking about. Okay. YouTube is kind of quiet right now, but it's all good. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to plug in and make sure this phone is charging. All right. Okay, phone is charging, so we're good. It shouldn't cut us off. All right, it says pick up Rico Dowdle or J.K. Dobbins. You got to pick up Dowdle. Rico just went crazy. 200 yards rushing is 200 yards rushing. I'm always going to go with the guy that just had a great week. Now, obviously, it's hard to duplicate a really good week, but sometimes you take that shot. Maybe Rico taps into Chuba Hubbard's, carries. It could be a split. It could be 60-40 Rico. I don't know. It says trade Jacobs for Chuba, Sutton, and Diggs. I would. You're getting a lot back. That's a lot of value that you're getting back for Jacobs. Since my wide receivers and RBs are Genty, Jacobs, JSN, Adams. Solid. Definitely make the trade. It says Kincaid or Waller. I would say Kincaid. Although I don't like Kincaid, but Kincaid has been balling this year, so I give credit to where credit is due. Mecca for CD, good. I think that's fair, but to be honest, I'd rather have a Mecca right now. He's been too good, and we don't know if CD ever comes back and he's fully healthy. So that's me. It says Flowers and Walker for Olave and Bill. Give me Olave and Bill all day long, especially with no Lamar. It says Sutton for London. I think that's fair. London has way more upside. It says you said trade the bad RBs. Would you try to try to take Monty, Keenan, and Chase Brown for Jettis? Absolutely. That's a no-brainer. Says, all right, let's see. Millie Mills says, should I put Henry on the block or hold him? Put him on the block. If you can get a fair deal for Derrick Henry, you sell and you run to the bank laughing. But if you don't get the fair value for Derrick Henry, you just hold. Yeah, straight up, you ignored and I followed, bro. I'm so sorry. You said you straight up ignored and I followed. I'm sorry, man. What was your question again? I'm sorry. It's just so many questions coming in. I'm going to try to look for yours. Just ask again, and I will definitely answer it. It's just hard to just get to all these questions. It says trading Saquon, London, BTJ, Swift, and Emeka, DK, Bucky. Good trade. I like it. I like it. Emeka and DK and Bucky are real solid guys. Bro, I'm trying to find your question again. Ask your question one more time. I will do my best to get to it. But what I will do is for those that are on Twitter, I appreciate you guys for hopping on. I'm going to hop off and then spend the rest of the time that I got with the guys and ladies on TikTok. So appreciate y'all. Because I like the value right now. You think? Absolutely. But yeah, definitely appreciate you guys on YouTube for hopping on. We got to do this again. And catch y'all on the next stream.